What is up, guys? It is Joe back again talking about the Kansas State Wildcats, and I know that the background's a little bit different. I'm up in Minnesota right now cheering the boys on from almost the Great White North, so that is why it's a different background. But K-State is fresh off of a 77-52 win over UCF, a game where genuinely I think everybody consistently thought this was going to be a close game. I mean, the spread was sub 5 points at tip-off. I think it was K-State minus 4.5, maybe minus 4. The line started about 5 or 5.5 and then slowly moved towards UCF a little bit. K-State heard all the backlash. They heard everything. They went out there and performed. I mean, you had some great days, but none bigger than Tyler Perry. We will talk about Tyler and the rest of K-State, all the great things we saw in the matchup. But before I do, let me remind you, if you like the channel, if you like watching K-State Athletics, talking about K-State Athletics, this is the place for you. Be sure and consider subscribing. On another note, even though I don't have it with me, normally I'm rocking an ice cold Tang party in the hand, post-game, while the team's celebrating a Tang party on the court. This video is sponsored by Manhattan Brewing Company. Go ahead and check out Manhattan Brewing Company. Even if you're not a huge sports person, you don't have to be, the biggest basketball fan in the world or football fan in the world. They've got a cool vibe over there. It's got a ton of different board games, different beers, theme nights, different people coming through. It's a really cool vibe, as well as run by some good dudes. Shout out to those dudes. They care about the channel. They care about K-State Athletics, and I appreciate having them along for the ride. But be sure and pop in and get you an ice cold beer from the best over at Manhattan Brewing Company. But guys, let's talk about K-State here. So, quick reaction. Tyler Perry is the man. That dude is the man. 25 points, 5 assists. Sorry, I've got my stats over here, so I'm looking off to the side. That's why. Tyler Perry goes 6 of 11 from 3, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, and was the greatest shooter in America tonight. He was, absolutely. And Coach Tang knew it. I mean, we all kind of expected it, but they started drawing up plays where it's like anywhere around the three-point line, give it to Tyler Perry. Get Tyler Perry a shot. Drawing up plays. It didn't matter if he's off ball, on ball. He's the dude to take the shot. And that was really, really effective. I mean, Tyler Perry started a game of around the world against a Big 12 team. Like, I know this is kind of a rude awakening for UCF, and man, you kind of feel a little bit bad knowing that they kind of walked into a buzzsaw in both basketball and football to start off in Manhattan. So shout out to the UCF friends. It will get better at some point in the near future. Teams will improve, but as of right now, K-State does have a pretty commanding 1-2 punch over them for both football and basketball. The game was not close, and a lot of us expected it to be close. Everybody expected it to be close. I mean, a lot of people, like if I was a betting man, it'd be tough for me to justify, all right, K-State minus 4, K-State minus 5, optimistically, I believe, but betting-wise, smart man, money man-wise, I don't know that I'd just jump to that. K-State got the job done. Tyler Perry was the dude. The next biggest scorer, you had Arthur Kaluma with 14 and 6. How about David Gasson? Even though he only had 5 points, how about 14 boards? Also was 3 of 4 from the free throw line. David Gasson worked, man. He heard all the criticism. He heard the claims. He got in the gym and worked. Rather than complaining, rather than doing whatever, he matured, he showed up, he worked, he did everything he could to ensure that that wouldn't happen again. Huge shout out to Dave Gasson. And one thing we're consistently seeing, doesn't matter which game it's been, I know obviously this conference play, so it's a little bit different. There's a ton of different lineups possible with this team. I mean, everybody coming off the bench, like you don't know whose game it's going to be. Obviously, you're going to have Art, you're going to have Cam Carter, you're going to have Will McNair, you're going to have David Gasson, Tyler Perry, whoever you're going to have those 5 roughly. Arthur Kaluma, a couple other guys, Day-Day will check in as well for some minutes. This game was the Dorian Finister game. I mean, Dorian Finister played really, really great out there. 6 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds on the day, was going up strong for a lot of tall boards, and played really smart, high-level basketball. I mean, I talked about it on social media as well. Also, subtle plug, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can see some of my thoughts during the game. I try not to tweet too much, but occasionally it's like, all right, this dude's a dog. Toss that tweet up there. That was Dorian Finister. He deserves some love for this one, man. This was a great game, a great outing for him. And he wasn't really asked to do too much. He wasn't asked to be some over-the-top dude making decisions constantly. But whenever the ball hit his hands, or even if it was the man that he was defending had the ball, good things were happening. He was playing great defense, a lot of hustle out there, a lot of effort. And you saw how temperamental, I would say, this team is. That's not really the right way to say it, but how impressionable this team is. Where you saw it last week, where Taj Manning came up, had the energy, and he was ready. The whole team matched that. Dorian Finister had that from the start and never let off the gas. The whole team matched that, period. K-State came out hot, started off on a 10-0 rally, made UCF call a timeout, which, granted, I missed because ESPN Plus is not, they're not great about prioritizing which game it's on. I should have listened to the little thing that flipped it over to ESPNU. So we waited and watched the, Boston College, Georgia Tech game, which it is what it is. I'm okay with it. I'm over that. Don't worry about it. But you had everyone contribute in this game. Everyone saw the court, which is really cool in this game. Everyone saw the court in the game. Obviously, it wasn't until late. K-State really stuck with 7 or 8 guys here through the first part of it. Then you subbed in R.J. Jones, Michaela Bridge, Taj Manning, and Jerome Colbert there late, as well as Taman Lindsay. Shout out to Taman Lindsay getting his. You had a whole new cast of guys go out there and say, hey, there's minutes here. I know it's late. We're not just tossing you out there just to toss you out there. It's still something like, hey, we're trying to get you out there at certain points. And Coach Tang, like, you saw him go over to the guys and be like, hey, we're not just here to jack up threes, try to score. We're not just trying to do this. There's a serious game plan here. And it's not necessarily to score, run up the score, and all like that. It's play solid defense, get us out of this game. Don't commit any dumb turnovers. Just be the right guys for the moment. And I think you saw that. You saw R.J. Jones throw that lob to Buddy Rich, where Buddy Rich yacked the ball off a dude's head and yammed it down. I mean, there's just nobody like Buddy. I'll just say, like, Buddy's Buddy. I keep going back to that comment where Tyler Perry and Cam Carter were asked, what do each of your freshmen do great? And he talked about Day-Day, how he's able to control the game and stuff like that. And R.J. Jones, really great shooter. He's special. Buddy, Cam goes, Buddy's just Buddy. I mean, he's Buddy. How else do you describe the dude? He's an athletic freak. The dude goes up and makes a massive play for K-State. It's going to rile up a lot of people. I know a lot of people want Buddy to get more minutes. I think K-State, like, this team's just going to be one where you actively have no idea who's coming off that bench next. That's just the way it is. I mean, you'll have 5 or 6 guys where it's like, all right, these are the dudes to go to. Could it be the Taj Manning game? Sure. Could it be the R.J. Jones game? Sure. Could it be, Michaela Rich hopping out there? Could it be Jarrell Colbert? It could be any of these guys checking in and playing a big role. Dorian Finister made the most of his moments tonight, and I was really happy to see. So a guy that's really worked hard, and I'm just excited to see what happens out there. Will it be, the grand thing that we need to tie all the Big 12 season together? I don't know, but dude, the energy was drastically different than any game we've had this entire season. Jerome Tang talked about it before the game. He, talked about how this team reminds him of Providence. That scared me, immediately scared me. Providence is a solid defensive, streaky team. I think K-State understood that. I think they knew, okay, UCF, if you give them confidence, they'll be a good team. But you cannot let them gain an inch. Otherwise, they'll take a mile. They'll get to that next road. They didn't let that happen. They didn't let Jalen Sellers get going. They didn't let any of their best players get going. So huge testament to all the guys on defense. Dorian Finister locking up. Cam Carter. Obviously, he's Cam Carter, so you know what you're going to get there. Cam with 12, 6, and 4 in this game. Art 14, 6. Will McNair 11 and 6. There's a lot of dudes contributing, but man, it was just a comfortable, the best way to describe it, it's a brainless win. We don't have to invest as much as a fan and be super locked in, super waiting for everything to happen. It's a good feeling to have a game where you're like, you know what? We're a better team. We played better. We won the game. That's cool. That's the energy I wanted from this game, and I'm stoked to see it. Obviously, I didn't expect to win by 25, 26, whatever it worked out to be, but I did see a stat there late. I could be lying about it, so it is what it is. I saw a stat, not sure if it's 100% right or not, but it did say that this was the biggest win differential of any team led by Jerome Tang. I know it's only 2 teams, but you would have expected last year with Marquise, with Keontae, with Naquan, you would have expected that team to have won by 20 or 30 at some point along the line against one of those teams. Obviously, it's Big 12 play, so it's different. There's not really a bad team in Big 12 conference play, but this is the biggest win of any Jerome Tang team in Big 12 conference play, so that is a good thing to see, especially as the team looking for more confidence, so you got to feel good about that. Outside of that, guys, I think it's just a good thing to say, hey, we're 1-0, we're moving on to next week. Saturday, you've got West Virginia coming to town, hoping to get off to a 2-0 start. That would be great. I know that the Big 12 is going to be a gauntlet every single game of the season, so I'm excited to see us get our first one. Thank you so much for watching and supporting. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I will talk to you.